useful. Okay, so let me start the recording. Okay, I just want, I will request the organizer to start the recording, please. I don't have that option. 1 second. Okay. Organizer, can you please start the recording?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I think the recording is started. Okay, so coming to the main part. So what I was showing you is Jupyter Notebook. So let me close everything, right? So if your installation is successful, how to check whether your Anaconda installation is successful or not? If you're a Mac user or a Linux user, open your terminal. And if you're a Windows user, you can open your Anaconda notebook, Anaconda prompt, the command prompt, and there you should type Jupyter space notebook. Right? So if you see, I have typed Jupyter space notebook and something is open in my local host. If you have no doubts, could you please mute? I will request everybody to please mute yourself. If you have any doubt, please unmute and ask. Okay, otherwise please mute. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is open your terminal and just type Jupyter space notebook. So what is Jupyter Notebook? Jupyter Notebook is a very famous Python IDE. I'll show you how to use this. Today's class we will discuss that. So if you see, if I type Jupyter space notebook, this Jupyter notebook will be opening in my local host, right? As we discussed yesterday, Jupyter Notebook can be useful for creating beautiful notebooks, Python notebooks. So first, let's see how to create a fresh new notebook, right? So this is my home page. This is my home. If you see here, and if you see in this side, there are two buttons. One is your upload and one is your new. So if you want to create a new Python file, I will just click on new, and then there are so many options, whether I want to create a text file or I want to create a folder or I want to create a new open a new terminal. I want to create a new Python file, so I'll be selecting Python 3. So what it is doing is it is creating a fresh new Python notebook for me, right, where I can write my code. So let me repeat. What I'm doing is in my terminal, I'm typing Jupyter space notebook, and then when the home page I'm getting in, when the Jupyter is opening in localhost, there are two things in the right hand side. One is upload and one is new. Here I want to create a new Python file, so I will be selecting new and then Python 3. So then I will be getting a kind of new notebook like this, right? And if you see, this is untitled. I want to give some name so that later I can refer to this name. So you can rename your Python file anything just by clicking the untitled, the top. You can rename your notebook. Let's say I am renaming this to kind of Jupyter tutorial, right? And then rename. So see, this has been renamed. Now you must be thinking, where exactly, if I save this file, where exactly it will save? If you're not sure about the location where exactly it will save, you can always type pwd, and if you see here, you will find the path, right, where exactly it will be saving. But before that, I will be giving you a quick tutorial on all these tabs, what is this all about and how to use it. So there are two things. If you see this box, right, this box is known as cell. So we can write anything within this cell. We can write like two things. One is we can write code. One is we can write markdown. So if you have ever developed anything in Python or any other languages like HTML and something, you must be knowing about Markdown, right? So Jupyter Notebook supports Markdown. So in this cell, you can write two things. You can write code or you can write Markdown. Whatever you want to write, you can select. For example, by default, it is in code mode. If you see here, that's why I'm able to write code here. But if I want to write some text, I will change code to Markdown mode. And in this cell, let's say I can write some text. Let's say I will write, this is a text. Now I have written this, but how to run this? I will change to Markdown mode because this is a text, this is not a code. And then how I will run this particular cell. So if you see, there is a run button. So if I press this particular cell will be treated as a Markdown, not as a Python code. And you can see this is the text. This has been printed, right? So now you can understand at high level what is like how we can create nice notebooks. So whatever you are able to do with Markdown, like you can give image, you can input in images, you can add hyperlinks, you can add video links, you can add mathematical equations, you can add like list bullet points, you can bold it, you can make it italic, you can change the font size, font color, everything. Whatever you are able to do with Markdown, everything you can do using Jupyter Notebook because it supports Markdown and the syntax is same, right? But there are some shortcuts also. If I tell you also, it will be little high level, but eventually when you start using it, you will be very acquainted with the shortcuts. So instead of using this kind of tabs, you can directly use shortcuts. For example, here I am in this cell. I have two options. I can change code to Markdown like this, and then I can write whatever text I want to write. This is my second text, right? And then I can run this. This is one way. Other way, if I have to other way is just press escape and M. So it will change to Markdown and shift enter. Shift enter will run your code. No need to remember anything. There is a help. If you click on this help, you will get your keyboard shortcuts and everything. So if you click on keyboard shortcuts, all the entire description you will get. So initially I will suggest everybody to use these tabs, but eventually when you are very, very comfortable in Jupyter, you can, for every tab you have a shortcut. So you can use the shortcuts. Like for run, you can directly press shift plus enter. So it will run the particular cell, right? Okay, now what is this plus? Plus is nothing but if you want to add more tabs, more cells, let's say if I'm adding plus plus, more number of cells are created. Similarly, this cut is nothing but if you want to kind of delete or cut some of the cells, you can use this, right? And other things, if you see file, these all are very basic things, but I want to give you this also because this is a completely new platform, right? If you want to create a new Python notebook, you can create from here also new notebook. If you want to open any existing Python code, you can open it, press open, and then you can browse it from here wherever you saved. Let's say I have saved it in downloads, and within downloads, whatever, let's say this I want to use. Let's say there is some Python file. So this is IPYNB extension. Anything, I'll talk about this extension later. Let's say I want to upload this file. I can select, and this particular file has uploaded, right? So many things. Let me repeat so far what we have covered. I am talking about all these tabs, right? So one is your run, to run any cell. One is your changing mode, Markdown and code. Other things are like plus, to add more cells. And this cut symbol is nothing but to delete cell. And you have file. If you press on file, you can open a new Python file, or you can open existing Python file, right? Like here I have opened an existing Python file. What other things you can do is you can rename, you can save as. I talk about save and checkpoint in some time, leaving about these two options. Other options are straightforward. You can load a file, you can open a file, you can download a file. Let's say I have written a code this. I want to download my file, right? So unlike other Python IDE where you have only one option, you can download your file as .py extension. That is a Python extension, .py extension. Here you can download file in many other formats. So if you go here, download as, you have many other formats. Like you can download it as HTML format, so that, see, if I download it as HTML, anybody can view my code, my everything in web, right? Like this. No need to install Python also. Without installing Python, you can view my notebook, right? Because it is HTML. Other formats, you can simply download it as a .py format. You can download it as Markdown IPBYNB. So this is Jupyter Notebook specific format. Let me repeat. IPBYNB is a Jupyter Notebook specific format. So what it means is, if anywhere if you're finding a file has an extension called IPBYNB, that file can only be opened in Jupyter Notebook, not in any other IDE. In IPY, because in Jupyter we are writing not only Python code but also we are writing Markdown. So other IDE will not support it. So do not try to open IPYNB file in Spider or PyCharm or any other IDEs. Like here, if you see sentiment analysis, text mining, classification, so here it is a IPYNB file. If I try to open this file in Spider or PyCharm or Notepad or WordPad or any other IDE or text editor, it will simply throw me error. This IPYNB is very, very specific to Jupyter. This is a very, very common doubt for many. So when I share files, class notes and everything, so most of the time it will be IPYNB format. And if you are trying to open it in Spider, you will not be able to open. But don't think Jupyter will not support .py. You have all options. You can download it as .py so that you can open it everywhere, or you can download it as IPYNB PDF format also. You can download if you do not want to want to protect your code, then you can download it any one of this format. This is a very, very common thing in file. Open new Python file and then make a copy and all that. So far all clear? I'll pause here, and then if you are all clear, I'll go to the next. So far all clear? Any doubt?
So here we can convert a Jupyter file to another to an HTML or some other file, and we can download it, right?
Yes, it supports 5 different kinds.
Even the Jupyter node version can be renamed as .html or something, right? That
Yes.
save as option can be changed too.
Correct. Yes. Okay. You can download it in any format: PDF, HTML, Markdown.md format, or py format, .py format, or .ipynb format.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, and now this is the first. And coming to edit, I think this you already know: cut, copy, paste, delete, and all that, right? Redo, undo, and all that, right? Merge cell above, merge cell. If you want to merge 2 or 3 cells to make a big cell, or you want to kind of split some of the cells, split cell and all, right? See, if I have this some bunch of code I have written, lines of code, and I want to split it, I can use that. But now I don't have. But yes, so edit is basically to edit, cut, paste, undo, redo, merge, split, and all that, right? Coming to the next view, view is like simple. We can leave this. Insert cell above, insert cell below. So initially, no need to remember the shortcuts. You can always use these tabs. But for each and every operation, you have shortcuts also. For example, if I press escape and then if I simply press A, above the current cell, new cell will be added. If I press B, below the new cell, below the cell, new cell will be keep adding. Simply if I press D 2 times, so cells will be deleting, right? I will, like, yeah, but you will be confused if I tell you the shortcuts. That's why I'm avoiding, but it's very, very easy. You can go to this and you can take reference and you can use it. At least some of the shortcuts you should remember, like shift enter, because many times you have to run the cell and kind of adding new cell A and B, because many times you need to add cells, right? Now you will not feel, but if you have a very long code, you are completely below writing something and again coming up and clicking the tab, run again, it will take some time consuming. So if you simply remember few shortcuts, that will actually help you. Like for run, shift and enter. For editing, cutting cells, I mean deleting 2 times dt and all those stuff. Very simple basic things. Okay, so this is all about your editing options, right? So you can play with it. And there is something called kernel. I want to talk about this for a minute. So this particular cell, behind of this IPYNB, like the kernel, right? The kernel is nothing but the cell. Sometimes what will happen is if your code is very, very kind of so much kind of beyond your memory kind of operations you are running, so it will hang, right? Jupyter Notebook will hang. At that time, if so, the drawback of Jupyter Notebook is, until not only Jupyter Notebook but mostly in Python, as it is an interpreter based language, it will execute line by line and actually debug and execute and then go to the next line by line execution, right? Unlike Java and other languages. So if you have, let's say, 100 lines of code and in this particular cell the Jupyter Notebook is hanging, then it will not move to the next cell. You have to kill or interrupt the kernel. How to know that? See, if I run this, you can see now it is very less data, so it is running very quickly. Sometimes you will get a star symbol here. What you will get? A star symbol. So like this, you will get a star symbol, right? It means it is hanging. It is hanged. In this particular cell, it is hanged. Now you have bunch of lines of code here, but this will not jump here. Here only it will hang. In that case, what you will do? You can come here in this kernel and you can interrupt or kill the kernel. Interrupt means what? Stop. So I will be saying close this kind of program or stop this. That is what the kernel is all about. Interrupt means the current cell will be interrupted. Restart. Sometimes you need to restart your kernel. Restart and clear output. Restart, run all. If you do not want to run one by one, you can click on run all, so that all the cells will be running at a time. So all these things you can use, right? Okay, so this is all about your kind of Jupyter Notebook tab tutorial. This is one section, right? The second section of the tutorial is about Markdown language. So if you see this notebooks, let's say this is one of the notebook, I have written code. Below it, I can see the output. Sometimes I have written text, right? Sometimes I have written in this, I have not written any text, but maybe I can show you some other notebooks where I have created some nice kind of visualization and kind of note, right? Let's open any one of the cell. Okay, let's open. Okay, this is one of the project, right? It's a notebook. So I will show you what I'm telling you next, what we will do. So we understood how to use these tabs, how to run, how to undo, how to redo, how to insert, how to delete, how to interrupt, how to save, how to download. All these things we have seen. Next is how to create nice notebooks like this. See, I have given heading, and then I have, like, this is a project in 8:30 p.m. batch we have done it. So different steps, and then what we need to do, and all that, bullet points, text, and then writing code below that, looking output, sometimes visualization graphs, all this stuff, right? Sometimes, see, I have written some text with bullet points. So this is called a notebook. How to create this kind of notebooks? So as I said, it supports Markdown. So if you are or if you have a basic understanding on Markdown language, you can write, but I will give you a quick tutorial. So like knowing that is enough to create nice notebooks. That's the next part. So how to create nice notebooks using Jupyter. Okay, so I'll pause here and I will ask everybody if you have any queries till now. I am ready to answer. Otherwise, I'll go to the next section. Please ask me if you have any doubts.
Yeah, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, when people are used as a collab editor.
Google Colab.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a Jupyter notebook. So mostly it's a online kind of cloud kind of thing. So let's say you are in a situation where something is not working, computer is not working, and mostly it's a Jupyter notebook you can use on this. That's a different thing. So here you are installing Jupyter notebook locally in your system. There without Python also you can use using Google Colab, you can use that. That's a Jupyter notebook framework you will be getting.
That's the only difference.
So there are a lot of difference, but we are mostly focusing on Jupyter notebook. That's also, if you understand how to write code here, Google Colab is actually, you will get a Jupyter notebook framework where you can write exactly same way. Okay. This Jupyter is local to my system. That Colab is not local to my system. So I have installed and I am using it. Right. Any other ID? Any one of you like have already used any like have an idea about Jupyter? I think most of you may have because Python is very famous and okay. Okay, so I'll tell you one of yeah, Anita, you have some doubt?
You were showing the kernel, right? There was one option, change kernel. So can you explain about that?
So there are different kinds of kernels. I like if you
Okay.
see this, we have Python because
Okay.
Jupyter is not only supporting Python. You can write Julia code, you can write Scala code, you can write R code. So if you have different kernels, you can switch different languages if you have. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. So I'll tell you one real-time thing. So basically, Jupyter Notebook you can use as a PPT. So there is an option you can hide all your codes. For example, here in this case, I will hide all the code, right? Only the results and the visualization graph I'll keep, and I can like a PDF file or like a notebook, I can give a high-level overview of what I have done to my teammates or to my manager, right? Because mostly people don't want to share their code, or maybe others they don't want to see your code because unnecessary so much of confusion, right? If I show everything, they will be confused, all these codes and all. But if I hide this code, only if I show the outputs and if I take them through the output and the steps, let's say this is the first step, this is the second step and all, it is kind of in one notebook, you get the entire picture. That way also you can use Jupyter. It's a very good platform for sharing code, for uh, teaching purpose or sharing knowledge or kind of creating documentation for your project. It's a very good platform. But again, if you are a web developer, mostly you are using Python for web development, or let's say Django, Plotly, some of the libraries are there. I do not prefer Jupyter using I mean those kind of environment, like mostly the web development kind of thing. There you can use PyCharm or other IDs. Jupyter will not work, but mostly for data analysis, data science kind of project, it's a good platform. It's a good ID. But again, it's absolutely your choice. Anything you can use. It's just a new thing that we are learning. You're free to choose any ID. There is no restriction. Any ID you can use. Okay. Okay. Okay, so coming to the next part. So yeah, one more thing I forgot. So today, now I will tell you. So these two things, save and checkpoint and revert to checkpoints, right? So if you see the time, the Tuesday, March 3, 8:44 p.m. Right, sometimes back, it has already saved. I have created this, but what will happen is, I'll tell you what is this exactly, what is these two options are about. This is very, very important. So what Jupyter will do, sometime you go to the folder, right, where exactly it is saving the files. If you go to the folder, you will get .ipynb.checkpoints. We'll get some files called .ipynb.checkpoints. What you will get? .ipynb dot something, I maybe something dot checkpoints, right? IPYNB dot checkpoints. So what is this file is about? So these all are the backup files, right? So that Jupyter will create automatically. You no need to do anything. So every time you create a notebook, a checkpoint file is created in the hidden subdirectory of your saved location. Let me repeat. Every time you create a notebook, this I have created a new notebook, right? Every time you create a notebook, a checkpoint file, as I said, ipynb.checkpoint. So a checkpoint file will be automatically created in a hidden subdirectory. If you kind of see all the hidden files, you will get another file called checkpoint file, right? That is created by Jupyter in the same saved location. Okay. Now, what is the purpose of creating that checkpoint file, right? So by default, Jupyter will auto save your notebook in every some seconds, some default seconds. It will automatically save your file, notebook, whatever you are writing, to the checkpoint file. But sometime what will happen is, it will do automatically, it will save, but in a not immediately, with some time interval, very, very, very less time interval, but within that time interval, let's say it is 120 second, right? In every 120 second, let's say it is refreshing, and whatever new update you have done, it is saving in the checkpoint file. Now within that time, if your system crashed, or let's say some software update came and maybe Jupyter notebook crashed or something happened, in that case, if you have not saved your file, you may lose your file. There are very rare chance that you will lose your file, because Jupyter, as I said, it is auto saving everything in a constant interval. But sometimes you may lose your file before that interval if you if your system crashed. So it's a better and good practice to always click this save and checkpoint. If I click save and checkpoint, and if you see this, see, now it is recent time. See, this is 9/8. So what it will do is, let's say let's say my system update starts. Mostly in software companies, Friday night they start system update, right? Scheduled update, or weekends. You are working in weekends, and like suddenly your system update start. Your system got restarted. You went for a break. When you came back, your system is restarted. So in that case, whatever update you did, whatever changes you have made, it will be going. There will be not be getting back. You can click on this revert to checkpoint. Only the last checkpoint you can go back, right? But if you kind of want to save your file, let's say you have done some very important change, you want to save it, immediately press this. So what it will do is sync. It will immediately, whatever you have done here, the same thing will be synced with the checkpoint file, so that later you can go back. This has two ways. One is recovering your file. Second way how it is helping is, let's say you are doing some changes and mistakenly you have deleted something. It is not intentionally, but something you like got deleted, and you want to go back to your previous file. You can go back like this to your last checkpoint. So that's why this option is important. But again, if you do not do anything also, Jupyter will actually save your file, but in a constant interval, not immediately. Okay. So if you click on this, it is like notebook and checkpoint file will be up to date. Okay. Okay. So this is all about your Jupyter notebook. So I think now you must be very comfortable using this kind of platform. Now, how to create notebooks? Again, as I said, it's all Markdown things we will be learning. I'll start with very simple thing. First is heading, right? How to give heading. So if you see in this project, first thing is I have done some heading. I have given some heading. If you click on this, this is how I have given heading, right? So how to give heading? So one option is easy option. If you do not want to remember any shortcut, just come here. There is an option called heading. If you see this, there is called this option. If you click, see, just click on OK, right? And you can type, let's say it's heading 1, right? And shift enter. So this is heading 1. Now if you, this is a main heading, right? You want to create subheadings. Under the main heading, you want to create other subheadings. How to do that? So I will be creating again heading, not here, maybe in the next cell. Let's say here, right? I want to change it to heading. So now what I will do is, instead of one hash, I will simply write another hash. So it is the next level of heading. I will write heading 2, right? And then run. So it's a subheading. Similarly, you can keep giving n number of headings based on space, based on number of hash. You can create main heading, subheading, under that another subheading, like this. But the shortcut is very, if you want to create very fast, escape and simply type 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 number, right? Let's say the first subheading, escape and 1 will give me the first subheading, first level of heading. Similarly, if I type escape 2, second level, escape 3, third level, escape 4, escape 5 6 7 8 9 10, right? So I can create so many subheadings by just writing hash or 1 2 3 4 5 6. And here I am writing heading, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6. So okay, so okay, so this is, but as of now what you can do is simply, because you are new, so I mean remembering shortcuts will be difficult for you, simply write heading and then give tabs, hash, so whatever level you want, right? Then you will get that. So this is heading, how to give different levels of heading, right? How I am running, somebody asked. I am just typing like pressing shift and enter, and you can, if you are confused, you can simply press this run command, so it will run. Okay, okay, so this is the first thing, heading. So far all clear? Any doubt? Please ask me if you have any doubt. I'll pause here. Any doubt? No doubt. Okay. Okay, now coming to the next, once you have given headings, what else you can give? Let's say you want to bold some text. Sometimes we want to highlight, right? So it's a very like straightforward. Either you can use B, if you remember Markdown, you can write B and then you can write your text. So this is bold, and then you need to close it also, /B. But it is throwing error because the mode is code mode. I need to change it to Markdown. And then if I run, this is a bold text, right? There is another way to make it bold, that is fast. Instead of writing this B and ending this B, right? I can directly write star, 2 stars, okay? And then the text. Let's say this is bold. Again, I need to change it to Markdown. Okay. Okay, so there are two ways. One is you can give this B, or you can write star. So any one of it you can use for making anything bold. Now italic, right? How to make anything italic? So you can again write I, or you can simply 1 star. So 2 star is for bold, 1 star is for italic. Okay, so let's say this is, again I need to change it to Markdown, and I'm always forgetting this, so you need to end it. So this is italic, and if you want to I mean, you can use this way, or you can also use this I, right? You need to start with I and end with I, right? So both way you can make it italic, right? Okay, so if you see this, both of the sentences are in the same line. If I want to kind of break it, I can write BR, line break, so it will come to next line. So all these things that I'm talking is all about Markdown. If you want to know more, you have to kind of, you can take a quick tutorial on Markdown. But these are the very common things: heading, bold, italic. Very often you need it when you create notebooks, right? And other things are like, let's say I want to write a horizontal line. So what I do is, normally I create a file like this and I save it somewhere in my system. And anytime I need something, because most often this syntax we may forget, right? So this is like color and all that, I may forget. So what I do is I create a Jupyter notebook file like this, Jupyter notebook tutorial. You also create a notebook, and in that notebook you write all the Jupyter notebook shortcuts, or maybe all the Jupyter notebook markdown. So anytime you forget anything, you can take help, right? This normally is not much needed, but sometimes you need it to create nice looking notebooks, right? Okay, so what we have seen so far is how to give headings, how to write text, how to bold anything, how to make italic, all this stuff. If you want to kind of create a horizontal line, let's say I want to create a horizontal line, 3 times you need to write this dash, and this is a line, right? And then you change it to Markdown, and then you run. This is okay. Sometimes I think I'm doing some syntactical mistake. So if you have any doubt, you can always use Markdown syntax. So you can use HR. HR is for horizontal line, and you have to end it, and then you can run it. Is a line, I mean kind of a block. You can see here, this is a horizontal line. You can see this right in the top. So this is a line, horizontal line. So for bold, B; for italic, I; for line break, BR; for horizontal line, HR, right? So these all are very, very common Markdown languages, syntax. Other things you may need, because machine learning and all this stuff is mostly mathematics based. So other thing you may need is how to write math equations. I will not show complex math equation, but let's say simple math equations you can write, let's say within dollar symbol, dollar, and then let's say square root, and I'm just giving some blind examples, and then you can write dollar, and then make it Markdown, and then run it. See, this is the square root of that, square root of k. This is how I can write maths. So, but again, so basically, you can create a kind of nice, you can, let's say you're implementing a algorithm and you want to write about the algorithm, so that whom you are presenting, they can understand what exactly the algorithm is doing. So you can write the math equation also in the notebook like this, right? Okay, so I'll pause here and ask, I mean, I will take some doubt. If you have any, please ask me if you have any doubt. Yeah. Okay, so So, okay, so you're asking all markups may need for description purpose. Yes. So there is nothing related to Python. We have not started Python yet. We have not written even a single line in Python. This we are learning how to create notebooks. So Python we will learn like all the Python code we can write like this. But sometimes if we want to write something or create notebooks, we can use Jupyter Markdown to create notes. So we are in Jupyter Notebook Markdown, uh, and mostly it is supporting all the Markdown. If you are kind of very keen on that, you can write nice notebooks here. If you don't know, don't know also you can. If you remember this much, this is more than sufficient. Whatever I'm teaching, it's more than sufficient to kind of create nice notebooks. Okay, I will stop here. Tomorrow 15 minutes is enough to complete the rest. So tomorrow what I'm going to show you is how to kind of create list, order list, plus how to create unordered list, how to add hyperlinks. You must be knowing using href and all that, how to add images, how to add table. So quickly I'll give you this all things. Okay. And one more thing I want to tell you with this, you can actually change the theme of Jupyter Notebook. That's a really good thing. So black background, white background, if you want to make it full screen. So there are different themes available. You can maybe tomorrow I can show you that. Okay. As this is a very first beginning class, I don't want to stretch it so much. We'll go slowly. Okay. Okay, my screen is not visible. Okay, so many people joined newly. I already spoke about everything about the course duration, course content. Please go through the demo recording. But for the let me repeat, the course duration is 1.5 months to 2 months, and syllabus I think you already have. And please go through the recording, demo recording, to know more about the syllabus and other content. Okay. So there are two things. One is I think I have already explained in the demo recording. So this course is mostly focused on statistics and machine learning and Python visualization plus Python. These all are the 4 things you will be learning from this course. And in the advanced course, you will be learning NLP, machine, deep learning and time series. So entire course is 3 months. You can it is split into 2 parts, 1.5 months, 1.5 months. Where is the demo recording available? Demo recording I think available everywhere, like in YouTube, and also it is available with Durga Soft. They will be sharing with everyone who joined today's class. They'll be sharing the recordings with them. Okay. Okay. Okay, so if you do not have any doubt, we can connect tomorrow again. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, not related to Jupyter, any doubt, because I can see many students joined newly today. So if you have any doubt, you can ask.
All right, can I ask, ma'am?
Hey, hi, Anita.
Yeah, so just now you were talking about 3 months. You said 1.5 months, and again you said 3 months. So the program is going to be completed.
Sorry, actually, I could not hear you properly. Could you repeat?
Yeah, what I'm saying is you were talking about the duration, which is 3 months. Is it 3 months or 1.5 months? Hello?
Yeah.
Did you get me? I'm saying that. Can I speak now?
NLP, right? You're asking about NLP, correct?
No, you're talking about 3 months duration. You said 3 months or 1.5 months. How long did it take? Is it 1.5 or 3 months?
Could you please chat? It's not at all like I'm not getting it. Could you please chat and let me know what you want to ask?
Okay.
Yeah. In the chat window, you can post what exactly you are asking. It's not clear. How many projects will be covered? 3 projects, 2 main projects related to machine learning and statistics. 1 project is based on pandas and visualization. 3 projects in total. And 1 project I will be doing in the class, and 1 project you will be getting as assignment. So 2 projects from machine learning, 1 project from pandas. Entire course is 3. Yeah.
Sorry, Sasmitha, I tried using this heading, but it's like whenever I try, it's like taking only one hash in the start. Can you repeat that heading part alone once again, quickly?
Yeah, no problem. So if you like, you just go here, okay, and type heading, right, and then okay, and here you can type a number of hash, right, and then you write heading, whatever you want to give, whatever name you want to give, right. So you can reduce. This is first, this is second, this is third, and then write the text what you want to write, and then run.
Okay.
Okay, so any assignment will we get help? Yes, there are so many assignments. As I said, you can, like, for mostly from NumPy onwards, you'll be getting assignments for NumPy, pandas, for machine learning. You'll be having projects and assignments, and the solutions are also there. If you have any queries, you can ask in the class. Also, I will be guiding you, like this is a small example. So like I'll be telling you what all steps you need to do, right? And I will be also coding and giving the results, sharing the results. But at the end of the course, I'll be sharing the results. But I'll be telling you, I'll be guiding you. For example, first you do this, then you do that, apply this technique you can apply and all that. And you can do it parallelly, and later on when you complete the project, I will be sharing my code, and if you have any queries regarding project and all, you can discuss in the class. Okay. Okay. Okay, somebody asked whether this course is 1.5 months or 3 months. So this course is 1.5 months. There is another course which is again 1.5 months, which is advanced course, mostly on we will be discussing about computer vision, time series, and NLP there. That's advanced course, which is again 1.5 months. But this course, this particular course is 1.5 months to 2 months. Okay. Okay, so I think almost most of the queries I answered, and if you have more queries, you can reach out to me. And this is a fresh batch. We have not started, technically we have not started anything. If you see the syllabus, it starts from Python, and the first topic will be Python variable and all that. We have not started anything regarding Python. We are just kind of looking into the installation and ID tutorial kind of thing. So if you have joined today, then that's kind of, you have not missed anything. I mean, if you're joining 2-3 days after also, you will not be missing anything with respect to Python. Okay. So that's the it's a fresh batch. Technically, when we start, technically, I think we will start day after tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's our last class for Jupyter and Spider. Day after tomorrow, we'll start Python.
Sasmitha, okay. I tried again. Sorry. I tried again, but when after entering hash, it is moving to the Markdown language.
That's okay. So basically, like you're doing first time, that's why it is happening. So you can give, it should be Markdown when you're writing this heading, okay, right? You select heading, and here only you can type, let's say 2 hash, 3 hash, and then run it. Simply you can click this. Let's say here I am creating, right? Select heading, right? Okay. This is 1 hash. You give whatever number of hash you want, then give space, then write whatever you want, the name of the header.
Okay. Okay.
And then you can run it.
Okay.
Can one also qualify as a Python developer? No, this is a data science course. Python developer track is different. Basic understanding to intermediate on Python you will get, but the track will be different. So for Python development developer, the course syllabus is different. This is mostly focused on Python for data science. So we have modules like NumPy, Pandas, machine learning, statistics. But in development, the modules are different, mostly Django and Flask and all that. So the answer is no. You will not be able to tell yourself as a Python developer after this course, but you can tell yourself as a data analyst, business analyst, data scientist after this course. Okay. Yeah.
Is it required mathematics to understand this course?
Mathematics is required, but it's not like we are not here to derive or something. So we will be understanding the math implementation part, not the kind of derivation part. Like let's say I'm using alpha. So if I change alpha from 0.1 to 0.5, what will happen? What is the significance of that parameter? In that regards, we need to understand the math, but we are not kind of understanding how and where this alpha came, how I will derive and all that, because these equations are very, very complex. Not simple math, very high level maths is required. That is not needed by industry. Only Python code is also not sufficient. You should understand the basic and the logical interpretation of all the algorithm. Logical interpretation in the sense why you are using, what you are using, what is the algorithm is all about, what it is doing in the algorithm, and what is each and every parameter is about, right? All these things you need to understand, and that I will make you understand in the machine learning part.
Yes, any of the codes, if you go for NLP also or computer vision also, there is no necessity to understand the math. Means,
No, I am not
person who
saying
don't have
understanding math. No, I'm not
person.
saying math understanding is not required. Without math, there is nothing in machine learning, deep learning. Everything is all about math. But what we are saying, what I'm saying is, business is mostly what companies looking is how you will implement that math. It's not about understanding, it's also about implementing, right? So for example, in regression there are 10 algorithms. You should be understand, or you should be able to know, looking at your data, which algorithm will fit, right? If the data is non-linear, I should not try linear algorithms, right? Those kind of basic difference I should able to understand, right? Let's say there is something called maximum feature leaf node in decision tree. I should able to know what is that feature is about. If I do change from 100 to 500, how the algorithm will work, the working principle of that algorithm, the logical interpretation is required rather than the derivation part. Okay, so
Okay.
in that, yeah.
See, somebody don't know about the mathematics, they can also go for this course.
Yes. So, but again, as I said, little bit of, let's say, probability, right? It's a very common concept, and many algorithm are based on probability. So, simple things you should know, but again, not heavy math. Heavy math is not required. Without that, also you can be a very good data scientist.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll tell you my own experience in my MTech. It's a full-time course, and my specialization one was machine learning. I have no idea what was that subject is all about. Just because my senior told, so I took that. And in that entire machine learning course, this 1 year specialization course, I only remembered is math, math, and math. And I have no clue what I am learning and why I am doing it. I remember SVM and all that algorithms, 4-page, 5-page maths and all that. But in real time, when I came to industry, I started working as a data scientist. Hardly I use those maths. What mostly important is the logical interpretation, the understanding what exactly SVM is, how it really works, and what is the parameters are all about, right? And how quickly I can decide which algorithm will be fitting in my data. So that is what is actually needed. but there are different tracks. If you are taking these courses, it's not only that industry will welcome you, also it's a research field. If you want to pursue your higher education, if you want to go, let's say you want to do masters or let's say PhDs, there are sufficient research topics available, so you can choose anything and you can go for research also. It's a very good field, so it's very like option is very wide. You can go for research, you can go for industry, you can go for higher education. People who are freshers, see, there are two things. One is, if you are fresher, I will highly recommend to kind of go for higher education, masters or something like that, because the world is changing, and mostly in AI, if you have a master's degree, they value a lot. But people who are already crossed that age and all that, number of experience is more, I will recommend them to kind of try some real-time projects and showcase you have worked in data science at least for 2 years. Freshers, you are lucky, you cannot, you no need to show anything directly. You can after masters you can come into this field. Experienced people, you have to internally, you have to showcase at least 2 years of experience. You cannot say you are a fresher, right? So that's the, I think I discussed all these things in the demo class. If you have more than 4 years of experience in any domain, you need to showcase at least 1.5 years to 2 year experience in data science. Then only your CV will shortlisted. But if you are a BTech 3rd year, 4th year student, or you are having 1 or 2 year of experience, try to get a full-time master's. Part-time masters, people take course from different part-time courses. Honestly speaking, that has not that much value as compared to full-time masters. But if you want to join as a fresher, then masters is required. Otherwise, you can kind of join as a 1 or 2 year experience people in data science. That way you can enter. Right? Okay. Another way of entering is for freshers. Like if you have freshers, means not college pass outs, like 3 year, I consider 3 year experience till 3 year is kind of fresher. In that level, you can join as a data analyst or business analyst first, whatever opportunity is coming, and later on you can switch internally. So that's the other way to get into data science. Okay, so this is all about, I think I already discussed everything in demo class. So let's connect tomorrow. Okay, I'm ending this meeting. We'll connect tomorrow at the same time.
Sasmitha, one last question. That square root of k alone, can you show me?
Hey, no worries. I will be sharing this Jupyter Notebook tutorial. You can actually download this, and I will upload this in the drive. So, yeah, so you can use this.
Okay.
Okay. All the code that I'm using in the class will be shared with you along with the recording.
All right. What about this database is required? Like, to what extent you require database for this kind of program, ma'am?
Big data you're asking about?
Database skills is like SQL.
This is not clear. I can read the question. If you can type in the chat box, I can see some. I think what extent of database skill required. I think already I answered. Not very advanced level, but at least if you are able to extract data, retrieve data, writing select queries, join queries, that is okay. Not advanced level is required for data scientist at least. Because most of the data that we process are semi-structured, and we have different libraries to process and unstructured. As a data scientist, the main job is to process unstructured and semi-structured data. If it is a structured data, like in database, I think there are enough kind of people to do that, right? Like all the SQL developers can process structured data. So if you see the real-time data, mostly it will be CSV, XML, JSON, or text files, right? So, and we have different libraries and different ways to handle those semi-structured, unstructured. So to answer your query, yes, database skill is required, but not very advanced level. Basic to intermediate is okay. And if you don't know that also, you can take help from Google and kind of extract data. Because as a data scientist, your only job will be extracting data from databases. After that, once you get the data and read the data into Pandas data frame, you can write Python queries, Python codes to kind of process your data. Okay. Previous day class, please reach out to Durga Soft. They will be sharing. Okay, so I will connect with you guys tomorrow, and if you have any queries, I will be answering tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.